Meet Mansa Musa, King of Mali. If you have ever heard of someone talk about the richest man in history, this is the guy we're talking about. Not Elon Musk, not Jeff Bezos. We're talking about an African king who lived over 700 years ago, whose wealth was so enormous that even today, people can't still agree on how much he's actually worth. And baby, having gold was only the beginning of this man's story. Because when Mansa Musa decided to travel, he made sure the whole world remembered his name. Grab your tea, because they don't teach history like this in your school, but between me, you, and the stickmen, we're going to change that. Welcome to the ancient tea. Mansa Musa was the king of Mali from 1312 to 1377. Mansa Musa ruled an empire bigger than most of Europe. We're speaking Mali, Senegal, Gambia, Guinea, Niger, Nigeria, Chad, Mauritania, and his bag. His money came from two places, gold and salt. Now Mali itself. Mali sat right in between the gold mine of the West Africa and the salt mine of the Sahara. Back then, and still till today, salt is used to preserve food, so salt was literally worth its weight in gold. Musa controlled both. He didn't just inherit wealth, he expanded it. Today, you see estimates putting Mansa Musa's wealth somewhere around $400 billion or even higher. But here is one thing no one actually knows. Trying to calculate the net worth of a 14th century empire in today's money is almost impossible. Mansa Musa didn't just have money sitting in an account, he controlled over half of the world's gold at the time. Arab traders wrote, "Gold comes out of the ground here like grass," and every caravan crossing the Sahara, they paid Mali tax, so money never stopped coming in. Basically, Forbes would have had headache trying to calculate this man's net worth. In 1324, Mansa Musa decided to do Hajj, a pilgrimage to Mecca. Most kings would go with over 100 people, okay, let's say 200 max, but Mansa Musa, no, he went with 60,000 people. We're talking soldiers, judges, officials, merchants, 12,000 servants, and camels, hundreds of camels, all carrying gold. The exact number varies depending on the historical account you're reading. We're not going to sit here pretending as if someone stood in the Sahara with a clipboard counting everybody, but one thing is for sure, the procession was huge. He didn't just go to Mecca straight up, he traveled for months, first Timbuktu, Goa, Cairo, Medina, and finally Mecca. Months on the road, through the heat, through the sand, through the kingdom. But Musa wasn't just doing this for himself. He was going to put Mali on the map to show the entire Muslim world that a black African king was one of the richest and the most powerful man alive. And baby, it worked, because after this Hajj, everyone knew the name Mansa Musa. Now where the hot tea starts spilling. In every city he stopped, he spent gold as if it was nothing. In Cairo, Cairo was already one of the great cities of the medieval world. It was wealthy and powerful, so imagine their reaction when this incredible wealthy West African emperor suddenly arrived with a massive entourage and started spending and distributing gold. He literally gave gold to the poor. He built houses, he built mosques, he paid people to talk about him. Oh, how I wish I was there. The Sultan of Egypt wrote that Musa flooded Cairo with his benefactions. I bet you all think everything was going smoothly. Golden boy Mansa Musa flooding Cairo with his gold. But here's the problem. He literally crushed their market. There was suddenly too much gold in circulation. I'm no economics teacher, but one thing I know is where there is high supply and low demand, prices fall. This resulted to 12 years of inflation in Egypt. The value of gold dropped across North Africa and Arabia. He was so rich he made money worthless by tipping. The funniest part is, on his way back home, Mansa Musa actually became broke. Arab historians like Al-Umari said after giving so much gold, Mansa Musa actually became broke and had to borrow gold from Egyptian merchants just to fund his trip back home. The irony for me, the richest man had to take a loan. What did that happen to us? But at the same time, isn't it his gold though? Because he was literally sharing gold around. So they were ought to help him, and this is how he put Africa in everyone's mouth. Before 1324, most of Europe and the Middle East thought sub-Saharan Africa was just a desert and jungle. After Musa's caravan through Cairo, everyone was talking about him. Everybody knew the king of Mali with more gold than anyone. But let's not get something twisted. Enough with the gold talk. Musa wasn't just traveling to show everyone how wealthy he was. The main purpose of his journey was religious. He was literally performing the Hajj to Mecca. This trip puts Islam on the map in West Africa. Yes, the citizens of Mali were practicing Islam before Mansa Musa, but after him, it exploded. Mansa Musa came back to Mali. He came back to an empire whose international reputation had become much bigger. His pilgrimage has put Mali on the map, like you guys, on the map. But Musa didn't just come back home to chill and enjoy the fame. He got to work immediately. You all know the saying, put your money where your mouth is. He basically overdid that saying. He strengthened Mali's connection with scholars and intellectuals from places like Egypt, Morocco, and Arabia, and he invested in mosques, learning, and architecture. And Timbuktu was one city that became so famous. Today when you hear Timbuktu, you think somewhere extremely far, but Timbuktu will become one of West Africa's greatest center for trade and Islamic scholarship, part of the wider network of mosques and learning institutes in the city. Some accounts and modern estimates describe Timbuktu at its height of having over 25,000 students. People traveled from different parts of the Islamic world to study and exchange knowledge there. Think of it of Harvard, but in West Africa centuries ago. And Mansa Musa also put his money into building. One of the most famous monuments associated with his region is Jim Bariba Mosque in Timbuktu. Mansa Musa didn't build Timbuktu alone. That took generations. He made the foundation much stronger. His legacy wasn't just about the gold. He had the money, yes, but don't ever forget that he put the money to work. For the first time, the world saw that Africa wasn't just exporting gold, it was exporting knowledge, faith, and civilization. And we know all of this because people actually wrote it down. This wasn't just oral tradition. Al-Omari, an Arab historian in Cairo, met Mansa Musa's delegation and wrote detailed accounts on how much gold he gave away. Ibn Battuta, the famous traveler, visited Mali 30 years later and described Mansa Musa's legacy and the empire he built. And there's also proof you can hold the Catalan Atlas of 1375. European map makers drew the entire known world. And right in the middle of Africa, they drew Mansa Musa sitting on a throne, holding a gold nugget and a golden crown, with the text that says, "This lord is the richest and the most noble king of the region." You don't get European maps if you're a myth. You get the maps when you're undeniable. So to anyone who says African history is just oral stories, now you have it. We have Arab historians, European maps, and buildings that still stand today. And just like that, the journey ended. Mansa Musa died around 1337. His kids couldn't hold the empire together, and Mali slowly declined. But guys, not every king leaves a legacy like this. The richest man in history wasn't brought down by losing money. He was brought down by having so much of it that he accidentally broke economies and had to borrow gold on his way back home. He used his wealth to spread Islam, build university, and force the world to say one name: Mali. Mansa Musa was so rich, the world had to rewrite the map to include him. If you enjoyed this ancient tea, like, subscribe, and tell me in the comment section. If you had Mansa Musa's gold for a day, what would you spend it on?